Okay, it's that time again, babies. Going to the gym. It's a Monday morning. I'm on vacation. Car's freezing. I only got 3 miles to go to get to the gym, so that's lovely. So yeah, I checked out, here's my favorite sound. I checked out Hosea 4 because I couldn't remember it yesterday. And basically, it's useful information. It's about God just speaking through Isaiah to get Israel to put aside their idols and return to Him. And that when they did, they would find that they have all that they need in His protection. Yeah. So whether was just talking about Israel in captivity, or maybe this was pre-captivity, I'm not sure, or if it can be used for as a pattern of God's interaction with us today because of things that we put ahead of Him. However you look at it, I see it as useful. Go ahead for it. It has my approval. Hosea 4. Now, then I went into Mark 4 because we're going into the Bible in the, 7 different sections? I can't even remember. The Pentateuch, history, poetry, major prophets, minor prophets, that's 5. Then Gospels, Acts, letters, Revelation. Okay, 9 sections. So that's why you see me, the number 4 keeps repeating because I'm kind of going through it sequentially. All right, so in Mark 4, we have a lot of good stuff in there. I didn't spend a lot of time with it because it was really very familiar stuff. A lot of parables, a lot to do with planting of a seed, whether it's your faith in God or using the talent that God's given you, and you don't waste it, but you nurture it. Very familiar stuff. I didn't really, like I said, spend much time on it, but very useful and lots of explication, so it's somewhat repetitive. Now, one thing I didn't like about it is there's this one passage where Jesus is supposed to have said, and I really doubt that He did, that He says, the reason I speak to you in parables is so that the people who are not being saved don't continue to be in the dark on my meaning and can stay unsaved. I'm like, really? I highly doubt that. And I'm trying to think, like, what kind of crazy community would have a belief system like that? And I guess the answer would be the Jewish community at the time of His earthly life. I mean, it just makes no sense to me whatsoever. Why would God keep things from, I'm only here for those who are, going to be saved, and I'll explain those things. I'll explain my parables to those people, but I'll keep speaking in parables so that the people who could possibly be saved don't get saved because they don't understand. I'm like, come on. I not only do I disbelieve that Jesus said that, but I'm incredulous as to how anybody could think of that as being holy, unless you're so wrapped up into that type of mindset, which is kind of repetitive in the Old Testament, of God being here for Israel alone, and all kinds of, statements showing his favor to Israel and his punishment for anyone who isn't. I mean, that's the only way. I mean, you think about it, it's sort of like the tribalism that's killing our planet at the moment. People have lined themselves up so much into certain mindsets, whatever it might be, that they hate and consider anyone who thinks differently to be the enemy and must be destroyed and denied all kinds of access to freedom to keep their idea from being the seed of their idea from bearing fruit. Sticking with Jesus's parable in Mark, it's amazing to me. Just cuckoo. I might as well shut the car off because it's not it's not going to get warmer. So yeah, wild stuff, as Johnny Carson used to say. Wild stuff. Sorry, I can't really do it. As you can tell. All right, so what else can we say? I'm just happy that I can start this day with looking to Jesus and trying to find a new way of being so that I am a better vessel for him to live in, a better vessel for him to be seen in. And I'm just excited to see how he wants to do all of that. And I'm looking forward to things I will learn to make myself a better partner. Yeah, baby. It's good stuff. And the other thing I've been thinking about is, I've been reading a lot, or not reading, but researching, listening to lots of things on YouTube of, people who study the Bible, both believers and unbelievers alike. And I'm just like, there's so many things that are so questionable. You can understand how people have, become atheists or agnostics or mythicists, people who think that Jesus never existed at all, that he's just a fabrication. There's a lot of good arguments for all of that. And so then it really gets you thinking. But, what keeps me going is the evidence that God gives me in my spirit, his joy, his peace in me to keep going and keep growing and finding myself useful to him, for others, so that my goal, even though I'm thinking I would like to be put in a position in some kind of community of believers where, his faithfulness and miraculous anointing can be seen in me, because I really think that's his gift for all of us. But even if that doesn't happen, I'm perfectly content just to be growing in him in a way that where I have the assurance that he is pleased. And I keep going back to this, but I find it to be really useful, is that two people who are in love, who are committed to each other forever, are continually inspired to sustain that level of love by surprising each other with how far each one will go to demonstrate how committed they are to the other, because the love is so deep. Yeah, baby.